In this video, let's talk about the 3 different storages in the newly released UniFi Dream Router or UDR. Let's check the sturdy device first. So in the back, you notice this micro SD slot. It doesn't come with a SD card, but if you take it out, just a normal tray, then you add a regular micro SD card. According to UniFi's website, the only limitation is the card size has to be larger than 1 to 8 gigabytes. I believe that's because the built-in SSD has that size. We will talk about that later. I already inserted the card, then we can put it back. Okay, done. In order to have a clean stop for this video, I already did a factory reset and I added a testing camera to this UniFi Protect. Installed 2 applications to this router, network controller and the Protect controller. I haven't inserted the SD card yet. Let me go to UniFi OS, not the network controller. Let's see for storage. See, no SD card. So basically this menu is only for the external storage, which is SD card in this case. Then let me click the About This console. You see 2 interesting items about the storage. First one, the Ssd storage now is already using about 4 gigabytes. Why? Because the testing camera has been taking videos. There's another one. It's called internal storage. Now we already see 3 different storage types: SSD, the SD, and the internal storage. What they are for and what's the difference? If I insert a SD card, what will happen? If I remove the SD card, what will happen, right? Let's look into the details. Let's first check the official information from Ubiquiti. This is the product page on store.ui.com for UDR. See, it mentioned the 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Immediately we see a contradicting information. Here it's using the internal storage wording, but remember from the web UI we just saw a internal storage. Apparently it's not the same so-called internal storage. And the number 128, it is really referring to the SSD. And it doesn't mention anything about the real internal storage. Let's continue looking. In the other tab, I'm showing you the official datasheet from Ubiquiti for the UDR. It only lists the SD information, I believe. Let me try to find it. It says expansion slot, SD card. In the whole PDF document, I don't see anything about the SSD. The 2 documents from Ubiquiti, neither of them mention the real internal storage. What's the deal? What they are for? In the right side, I show you the documentation for UDM, the device which looks very similar to UDR, but it's the Dream machine. It's not a wireless router. And for that machine, it has much better information listed: onboard flash storage, and it's 16 gigabytes. So internally, in fact, it's called eMMC. That's a special type of storage, very similar to SD card, but it's normally used in the onboard embedded storage. Let's see whether in the UDR, the focus of this video, whether it really has the similar onboard flash storage or not, whether it's listed on the UI as internal storage. Let's go to the command line. Let me SSH into the UDR. First, run command ls block. It will list the block devices. If the system has, let's say, eMMC or SD or SSD or hard drive, they will be listed here. 2 interesting things already. Under SDA, the first SATA hard drive, it has 3 partitions, and the very last one is mounted under SSD1. See the MMC block 0 device? The size is 14.7 gigabytes. It's close to the 16 gigabytes number listed on Ubiquiti website for UDM. I believe it's just different way to say the same number. I assume this one is the eMMC card, which is the so-called internal storage. Even though it's not listed anywhere in Ubiquiti's document for UDR, it is there in the system. For the same eMMC card, it's separated into so many partitions, and they are mounted under different folders. From the mounting point names, you can see they are for some crucial tasks for this operating system. I don't see the SD card because I haven't inserted one yet, right? For the SSD, let's check the size. Yes, it's 119 something. That's the 128 SSD card. Let me use another command, cfdisk. Let's look into each card in details. First, let's check the SDA device, which is the SSD. 3 partitioned Linux file system. This one, the 7 gigabytes one, is used for swap. Okay, interesting. And the very last one, yes, that's mounted under SSD1. That's the size we can see in UniFi Protect software, which is for the SDA file partition. Quit. Then let's check the other block device, which is the eMMC, the internal storage. Yeah, this one's boot firmware, var log, data, persistent. It's read and write file system. I believe this is for a overlay partition. Another thing to notice is here for the very last partition, see the size, 5.6 gigabytes. Is it familiar? I believe that's the number listed on the UI for the so-called internal storage. See, this is the UniFi OS settings. Under system information, you can see the internal storage size is 5.83 on the UI. I believe these two are the same thing. And for the SSD storage size, let me display back the SDA device. See the very last partition, it listed as 111.2 gigabytes. I believe these two are the same thing. Let's first see what's this RWFS, this interesting internal storage partition, what it is used for. Let me run a Linux command, which is df for disk free. See the mounted on column. Remember the RWFS, that's the internal storage list here, right? We can find out which is really using this internal storage. How we can find it out? So see the root mounting point, and the file system is overlay file system root. Let's validate it. Let's confirm root mounting point is really using this internal storage. Go to root folder. So let me generate a 5 gigabytes file, a huge file. Okay, immediately done. And let's see whether it's really generated. Yes, test image. Now if I display the free space again, yeah, see the root folder is already available 0. See this RWFS and root, they have the exact same size. Basically, that means it's just an overlay partition. They are the same thing. We proved that yes, the root is the RWFS, which is displayed here for internal storage. What it means exactly? That means for any folder we see here and the root, if they are not showing in the DF output, that means it's using the internal storage, which is the eMMC storage. Okay, before we proceed, let me remove the dummy file, which is causing problem now already, I believe. Okay, display DF again. Yes, we are back to normal situation. Now let's check the SSD partition, right? So let's see what the system use it for. Let me directly go to the mounted folder, display everything. See, the system deliberately hides the 3 folders, 3 subfolders. PostgreSQL is for database. UniFi, I guess, is for UniFi network controller. And the last one, UniFi Protect, is for the surveillance system. Remember, I already connected one testing camera and it has been taking videos, right? Let's see whether the video is saved in the SSD card instead of the internal storage. I assume so, but let's validate it. Before we proceed, let's display display the DF again. See for the mounting point SSD1, it's already used about 5 gigabytes. So let's find out what are the 5 gigabytes at all. I'm already in the SSD1. Let me cd to the UniFi Protect folder. Apparently, this is the running environment for the whole UniFi Protect system. I believe the software itself, the application, is installed in this internal storage, which is eMMC. But when it runs, it will use the SSD card. Apparently, it's faster, right? That makes sense. I guess our video is stored in this video folder. Let's try it. Okay, promising. It's organized using year. Let me go to this year. Yeah, it's for the month, for date. Okay, we see our videos already. There are 4 big files. Each one is about 1 gigabyte. So we already proved that, okay, the UniFi Protect will save the videos to the SSD card. Now, naturally, I believe most people will think of, okay, now if I run out of space for the SSD, because 128, to be honest, is not big enough, right? So we run out of space. Now if I insert a SD card, what will happen? Will the system extend the storage naturally to the new SD card so that I have 2 cards working? One is the internal SSD, the other one is the newly inserted external SD. I hope that's the case, but I don't know. Let's try it. I'm going to insert the SD card. At the same time, I'm going to start the stopwatch to measure the total time. After 12 seconds, the Protect is stopped. After more than 6 minutes, the system is ready. Let's see what happened after I inserted the SD card. Let me go to the UniFi OS. First, check storage. Okay, so now it's showing the size of my micro SD card. And if you check the utilization, you can see it's pretty small size. Remember, previously we have about 5 gigabytes of video in the SSD card already, right? That's one thing we need to figure out, where are the videos. Another thing we want to check is in the About This console menu for the SSD storage. Now it's showing the old value, which was less than 1 gigabytes, just like you finish a factory reset. Apparently some files were deleted from the SSD already. And if you check the internal storage, no surprise, I believe it doesn't matter whether you insert SD card or not, the internal storage is used for the same thing. To find out what really happened, let's go to SSH. Let's first go to the old SSD card to see whether we still have the old videos. See the UniFi Protect folder? Now it's blank. Everything is gone. Let's check whether we have another SD card folder already. Let me run ss block. We have another MMC block 1. The original one, the eMMC for internal storage, is 0. So the new one I inserted is numbered as 1. And it has only 2 partitions. The second one is for the Ssd storage, and it has this folder name. Let me go to this folder to see what's inside it. It's different than what we saw in the old SSD card before insert the SD card. Interesting. Let me go to UniFi to see what's there. Blank. Okay. Let's see what's in the SRV folder. Interesting. It has a UniFi Access folder created, even though I haven't installed the UniFi Access application, but I don't really care. Let me go to UniFi Protect. The same folder structure as the old SSD. Let me go to video. It's gone. My old video is gone. That's not good. That means you need to be very cautious when you insert the SD card. You need to back up your old one, download your old videos. It simply deletes the old videos from SSD card without moving to the new SD card. Let me run df. For the SD card, it only uses 70 megabytes. Apparently our old 5 gigabytes videos won't be here. First thing, I don't understand why Ubiquiti cannot copy the old videos to the new one, considering the new one has the same structure as the old one, the folder structure, right? Second thing is, okay, if it didn't copy files, then where the 6 minutes were spent on, right? Just to create folder structure, format the SD card, it shouldn't take that long time. I don't like it. That's what I found. Once you insert the SD card, if your experience is different, let me know in the comments. Maybe I missed something. And as the very last step of this video, let me remove the SD card. Let's see what will happen and how long it will take. I found a new thing. The camera was not managed by the UniFi Protect anymore. That explains why all my videos are gone. For some reason, after I changed the storage from SSD to SD card, my previously adopted cameras were gone. That's another bad thing. Before I remove the new SD card, let me readopt this camera to see whether I remove the SD card, the camera will be gone again. Let me do a factory reset to the camera and then we can start. I just reset the camera, readopt it. I just observed a new information under the recording setting. If you are using the external SD card, you have the option always under recording mode, which means it doesn't matter whether the camera detects motion or not, it always records. But if you use the internal SSD card, you do not have this option. You only see never or detections. That's an interesting observation and which makes sense. Apparently, if you use the internal SSD, it should be only the temporary situation. You don't want to count on the SSD to record every video. I already set it to always. It has been taking videos, I believe. Now let me go to the video folder to see whether we have anything there now. Yes, we have a 2022 and for today's date, yeah, we have 2 files there already, 2 gigabytes. And if we check the system information, yeah, it's using more than 2 gigabytes. If I remove the SD card, let's see what will happen. Of course, the system won't have time to copy the file back to SSD, right? I'm more interested whether my camera need to be readopted again. I just removed the SD card. As you can see, the Protect is stopping and even the network controller is also stopping. Give it some time. Let's see for how long it will resume. More than 5 minutes passed. It's still showing stopped. I don't want to wait anymore. Let me manually restart the router. The system is up and running. Both applications are showing green icon. Let's see what's the current storage situation. For storage, no SD card, okay, as expected. And let's see for SSD, yeah, it's back to the initial small 0.5 gigabytes value. And for internal storage, no surprise. Everything is expected, but let's go to UniFi Protect to see whether my camera is still there. Okay, this time is much better than previous case, so at least I didn't lose my camera. If I go to the recording, yeah, see the recording mode, the always option is gone because now we don't have external SD card. Remember, before we remove the SD card, we have 2 videos in the SD card, right? Let me switch to the SSD1 folder, Ssd Protect folder, CD video. The 2 videos in the SD card were gone. That's totally expected. Okay, so basically the conclusion, at least in my testing, when you do not have external SD inserted, yes, you can have some videos saved in your SSD card, but when you insert a SD card, even though it will take the system multiple minutes for preparation. But once it's done, my observation is, first, my camera is not part of the UniFi Protect anymore. I need to manually re-adopt it. And the second thing is, my old videos in the SSD card were gone. For whatever reason, you remove your SD card, what will happen? Your configurations will still be there, so your cameras are still adopted, but of course everything in your SD card will be gone. You need to start from scratch. Okay, this is the summary. The purpose of this video is to explore the SD card, SSD, and internal storage options for UDR. I believe now we all understand the three different types of storage. As a side effect, I observed something. I'm not sure whether it's a bug for the newly released system or it's designed to work that way, but anyway, in real world it may not be a big deal. If you have any comments, please let me know.